Welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment of our program is brought to you by Southeast Termite and Pest Control. And when the temperature starts dropping, that means creatures are looking for a place to stay. Be that a basement, an attic, a crawl space, smack dab in your living room. You never know what you're going to find. From skunks to foxes to bats to snakes. Southeast Termite and Pest Control can get rid of any critters you don't want around. They do a great job of catching and removing creatures and beasts with their wildlife division. Be sure to call them if you need them, Southeast Termite and Pest Control. And of course, I use them for my regular pest control, just good old bug killing. Locally owned, family owned since 1971, Southeast Termite and Pest Control. All right, let's welcome in next two members of our panel. We have right next to me from The Athletic, David Ubben. David, thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it.
Next to you, former Vol quarterback Sterling Hinton is back with us. Sterling, thank you for joining us.
Glad to be here, John P.
All right, two quick questions for Sterling to start with as a former quarterback. How much difference is there between, and I don't want to take away, I've probably been too strong on this, I don't want to make it sound like Shrout's numbers were completely bogus, but in my view, there's a difference between what Shrout faced and what Bailey faced in terms of what Florida was putting out there. Absolutely. Do you grade on a curve as a former quarterback? Do you look at it and say those guys face something different?
Yeah, absolutely. But not to take away from what Shrout did, he did exactly what he was supposed to do given the situation. But there's always a difference in the beginning of the game and toward the end of the game. One, you pretty much understand the entire game plan and what the other team is going to do when you get in at the end. In the beginning of the game, you go into a game thinking you know what's going on, but things change and people change plans and defenses adapt to what you're doing. And so it's always harder to start than it is to clean up. But again, not to take anything away with Shrout, they did exactly what he was supposed to do given the situation he was given.
Yeah, exactly. We've seen these guys come in and mop up duty earlier this year, and they didn't look as good as he did yesterday. So credit where credit's due. To me, there's a difference between coming in there and playing the first couple of first three quarters against a real defense.
Absolutely, John.
All right, what we're going to do in this segment is I'm going to ask all you guys. David, I'll start with you. Just give me your take on who you thought looked better, considering grading on a curve if you wish. Who you thought looked better in terms of decision making yesterday? Because I thought, as we said earlier, I thought the decision making from a true freshman in Harrison Bailey was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends on what you're prioritizing, and I think considering the state of Tennessee's quarterback spot, I would prioritize don't play with fire. And Harrison Bailey didn't do that. He threw, two balls maybe that could have been picked, but none that probably should have been picked. And credit to that. He checked down when he needed to check down, but he pushed the ball when he needed to push the ball. So, considering all the circumstances, it's not a slam dunk, but I would probably lean Harrison Bailey.
Decision making, where are you guys going? Who gets checked?
I'm going Harrison Bailey. I mean, he was there with the guys were fresh, and the attitude was high, and the intensity was high, and he came clean.
Josh,
his decisions that he had to make were harder, so I'd go Harrison.
Also, I give him credit, and you texted me as well. There was an early third down. I guess it was the second series of the game. Third and long.
Yes,
He's
sir.
about to get ear hold. There's nothing deep. He just checks it down, and they don't get the first down. But it was the right move. It was the right decision, and for a true freshman, that's when I thought, okay, it's not too big for him.
And that play, because he made that play and that check down, which got an extra couple more yards, which was not the first down like John P. said, but made the punter comfortable to perform a 60-yard punt. And I tell you, when you're backed up on your side of the field and you have to execute whether it's a pass or a punt, those 1 yards become more like 5 to 10 yards per yard for us comfortability in your mindset and having to execute what you got to do. So that added to that, which flipped the field on Florida.
All right, ball placement. In terms of hitting their guys in stride, again, I thought Bailey was pretty good, personally. What were your Bailey or Shrout in terms of where they put the football accuracy?
Well, you ask me, I love the way Bailey put the ball in his receiver's sphere to catch, especially under pressure situations. That back shoulder throw coming out of the end zone on that third and long play, boom, that shows a lot of potential with the skill level this guy possesses.
Thoughts?
Yeah, I think, he didn't hit any huge plays, but when he needed to and giving his guys chances to make plays, after the catch, he did that. A couple throws were kind of off. He had Eric Gray with like 20 yards of space and almost put it on his knee, but, he did what he needed to do.
One of the things we've seen, Josh, it's one of the weird things about Garantano, 25 yards or more, that's his wheelhouse. The swing passes, why is that at his feet? Why is that over his head? You had a swing pass for a touchdown to Eric Gray yesterday. I liked
It wasn't
where
1,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, I thought where Harrison Bailey put the ball and the way he put the ball there was pretty good. Your thoughts on ball placement, Shrout versus Bailey?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good for Bailey. I would go Shrout, maybe because he covered with a final throw that was really well placed on the fourth down. But I would go Shrout. I thought he hit some nice ones. If Elam catches that ball, that I don't know that Bailey got a lot of help with over the middle, but if Elam catches, I think that was the DB. Do we look at it a little differently? So I'd go Shrout.
Okay, I'll give them both the check mark there. Cool. Short passes, deep passes. If there was anything that I thought you would take off for Bailey, it was the deep ball. I had a couple that were there that he didn't hit. On the plus side, he threw them too long, which you're not going to get them picked that way. But your thoughts on short passing, deep passing? Did either of these guys stand out more than the other one to you?
Oh, I tell you what, that deep pass has all come with game time experience. Those inside fade routes, I guarantee you, Mr. Bailey will be hitting those in games to come. At those times in the game, when the game is critical, I think he'll be hitting them in games to come. Because a little more pressure on him. And one time, which is the most difficult time for a quarterback to throw the ball, is after a scramble. Your enzymes are going, your energy is up, then you got to get settled to pinpoint a pass. And those were the times that he had one of those inside fades when he could have hit. But, as he gets more game time experience, I think he'll hit that pass.
I was going to give the deep check to Shrout, and I was going to give them both checks on short passing. I thought they were both pretty good in the short passing game.
Yeah, wash on the short, but certainly Shrout better down the field yesterday.
He's got better arm strength, yeah. Or at least it looked like better arm strength yesterday. You go back to the Kentucky game, and it's like, didn't look like the same. That looked like the game where he had the torn labrum with that interception he threw.
Yeah, Shrout's arm, his physical tools, that's why he's at Tennessee.
Yeah, that's an NFL arm.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to take a look here at combining the last two, so we're going to be quick. Mobility and pocket awareness. I thought they both showed good ability with their legs. I thought Bailey, he wasn't eager to tuck it and run, but when it was there and he needed it, he got there. Thought Shrout looked pretty good. I would give them both check marks on both of those areas. Agree? Disagree?
Yeah, I was really impressed with Bailey. It's not so much the dramatic runs, but can you shift a little bit? Give yourself another second, extend the play, give yourself a little bit of a cleaner pocket, step up, help your
climb
lineman.
the pocket.
Yeah,
As everybody says.
that's something that Garantano has not done well. And so props to Bailey. He looked really good. And again, it's his first start ever. He's a true freshman. And he's doing that. That's a good sign for the future.
Agreed. Josh, thoughts?
Yeah, totally. On Tennessee's long touchdown drive with Bailey, he had a Harrison Dobbs play. So, I thought considering he's not a big-time athlete, to have that awareness and make that kind of play, I would give Bailey credit there.
A lot of potential in both of them. That pocket savvy is going to come, and I said that comes with game experience. At the current time, JT Stroud has more, and it showed yesterday in some situations when he got in the game.
We got to catch a break, but I think if you are looking for a positive coming out of yesterday's game, it's the fact that, okay, looking to next year, you've got a little something to work with now at the quarterback position. You might feel a little bit better about what you've got. You've still got Caden Salter coming in next year as well, if all goes to plan. When we come back, we'll talk about Mullen. We'll talk about Pruitt. Is there any reason to think that Mullen isn't going to dominate UT for years to come? Come on back on the Sports Source.